Pilgrimage is a journey by a believer to a holy site for religious reasons. It's seen as an act of worship. Part of the devotion of pilgrimage is the commitment it takes to walk a long distance and to sacrifice everyday comforts, but it's also a spiritual journey towards God as people pray and worship as they travel. Pilgrimage is not compulsory for Christians, but it is something that's mentioned in the New Testament in the book of Luke, and Jerusalem is explicitly mentioned. Jerusalem is seen as an important place for Christians because it's where Jesus spent his last days on earth, so many Christians would travel there to revisit some of these places. One important place for Christians to visit in Jerusalem is the cenacle. This is the place where it's believed that Jesus and his disciples had the Last Supper, so where Jesus broke the bread and drank the wine and said to his disciples, "This is something that you should do to remember me." Another important place for pilgrims to visit in Jerusalem is the Via Dolorosa, which translates the Way of Suffering. This is believed to be the route that Jesus carried his own cross on before he was crucified. Sometimes you would see pilgrims carrying a cross as well to remind themselves of this event. Another significant place of pilgrimage is Iona, which is a small island in Scotland, and it remembers a community of monks that used to live there after an Irish missionary brought Christianity to Scotland. It's surrounded by nature and is a remote part of Scotland, so for many pilgrims it's a place to be reminded of God as a creator. Another site of pilgrimage is Walsingham in Norfolk, which is a small village where Richeldi de Favers had a vision of the Virgin Mary. And Mary showed her the house in Nazareth where she had lived and asked Richeldi to build a copy of it, which is a place that lots of Catholic pilgrims now go to visit. Whilst many of these sites are important places of pilgrimage for Catholics particularly, the French community of Taizé is an ecumenical group. Ecumenical just refers to lots of different Christian denominations coming together, and Taizé is a community that aims to help them do that better and to work well together. So Taizé is a community that Christians from lots of different denominations might visit. It's a place for prayer, for music, for singing, for reflection, and silent meditation is encouraged as well, so that people have a chance to reflect on their beliefs and the significance of them. Within Christianity, there are different views about whether it is a good thing for Christians to go on pilgrimage or not. Many would argue that it gives them opportunity to draw nearer to God and to strengthen their faith, so an opportunity to be refreshed and to be more determined to follow God. Others would think that the same benefits can be found elsewhere. There has also been historical disagreement about pilgrimage and whether or not it should be counted as a form of idolatry, so worshipping things other than God by visiting sites of saints or of historical relics. For many Catholics who choose to go on pilgrimage, they would say it's about connection rather than about worship. A knowledge check to finish. Firstly, what is the definition of pilgrimage? Secondly, why is Jerusalem a significant place for Christians? What examples could you give? Thirdly, why might some Christians choose to go on pilgrimage to Iona? And lastly, why are some Christians in favour of pilgrimage whilst others would be less supportive?